Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into potential treasure. If you're between 30 and 70 and you've got a jar of old coins lying around, today's video is going to blow your mind. Hit that subscribe button because today, we're talking about a coin that could change your life. The 1979 D. Lincoln penny that's reportedly worth up to $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right. A common penny that could make you a millionaire. This tiny coin, made over 40 years ago, is sitting in drawers, jars, and maybe even your old piggy bank. But only a few rare versions are worth serious cash. And one of them? It's rumored to have sold for over $1.6 million at a private auction. Stay with me because I'll tell you what to look for, how to check your coins at home, and why collectors are going crazy over this little copper piece. First, let's talk basics. The 1979 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver. That's what the D stands for. And you'll find that mint mark just below the date. In 1979, over 4.1 billion of these pennies were made, so they're not rare, at least not most of them. But here's the catch. Not all 1979 D pennies are created equal. Some have minting errors, and a few are made with the wrong metal composition or have die flaws that make them ultra-valuable. Let's dive into the million-dollar question. Why is one 1979 D penny worth $1.6 million? There are rumors in the coin collecting world of a rare prototype or transitional penny, possibly struck using a leftover blank from a previous year or a proof die not meant for circulation. This kind of mistake is what collectors dream about. While details are scarce, and some even debate whether the $1.6 million sale really happened, what we do know is that unique error coins can sell for hundreds of thousands or even millions. And according to coin forums and collector insiders, one such 1979 D penny with a major error or anomaly was sold in a private deal for around $1.6 million. Like off-center strikes, double dies, especially on Liberty or the date, or repunched mint marks. In 1979, pennies were made from 95% copper. If yours weighs more or less than 3.11 grams, you might have something rare. Uncirculated or mint state coins with no wear are far more valuable. Use a magnifying glass, a coin scale, or take it to a local coin dealer to check. Now let's be real. Most 1979 D pennies are worth just 1 cent. But if it's in pristine condition, it could sell for $5 to $50 to a collector. And if it's a rare error coin or has a transitional metal, the price jumps from hundreds to thousands. And in exceptionally rare cases like that rumored $1.6 million coin, life-changing. But remember, only a tiny fraction have that kind of value. Still, it's worth checking. Here's how to sell it. Compass steps to sell your coins. Get it graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. Visit local coin shows or dealers for appraisals. Sell through trusted auction houses or online platforms like Heritage Auctions or eBay, but only if you know its value. Light bulb, always do your homework before selling, and never accept the first offer without comparing. So there you have it, the 1979 D penny that could make you rich, or at least get you a nice dinner out. If you found this helpful, give it a like, subscribe, and share this with a friend who has a jar full of coins collecting dust. Comment below if you have a 1979 D penny, or if you've ever found a rare coin in your change. Could a small copper penny from 1962 be worth over $1.5 million today? Sounds impossible, right? But if you've got a jar of old coins sitting at home, you might want to check them. Especially if you have the 1962 D. Lincoln cent, the $1 million penny. 1962 D. Lincoln cent explained. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're over 30 and have ever saved change, inherited old coins, or thought about selling collectibles, this video is for you. Most 1962 D. Lincoln pennies are worth just 1 cent, maybe a few dollars in excellent condition. So how did one get valued at $1.5 million? Well, there's a fascinating story behind it, involving mint errors, rare varieties, and collector demand. The 1962 D penny was minted in Denver. Over 1.7 billion of these were made, so it's not rare, unless you find something special. Here's what to know. It features President Abraham Lincoln on the front. The D mint mark under the date means it was made in Denver. It's 95% copper and weighs about 3.11 grams. Okay, now let's talk money. Why would a 1962 D penny ever be worth over $1 million? Minting errors, high-grade condition, MS 67 plus or better. Rare varieties, demand from elite collectors. For example, if your 1962 D penny has a double die, off-center strike, or is made of the wrong metal, jackpot. And if it's in pristine, untouched condition, even better. There's been buzz about a 1962 D penny valued at $1.5 million. Is it real? Some claims online refer to an ultra-rare specimen that was graded as a mint state 67 plus red, MS 67 plus RD, by PCGS, one of the top grading services. It had flawless luster, perfect strike, and was possibly part of a mint error batch. But be cautious. While this value is possible in auction settings among elite collectors, most rare 1962 DS sell for $5,000 to $15,000 if in top condition. Here's what you need to do if you think your penny might be special. Look for the D mint mark under the date. Check for doubling on the date or letters, especially Liberty or In God We Trust. Is it off-center or unusually thick? Weigh it. If it's not exactly 3.11 grams, it may be an off-metal error. Even small errors can mean big money. Red coins, not brown, are worth more. If you think you've got a winner, don't rush to sell at your local pawn shop. Get a professional appraisal from PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, or go through reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Great Collections. I've helped thousands of viewers learn how to spot valuable coins right at home, and I want to help you too. Drop a comment below. I'll respond. Want to see a step-by-step guide to grading your coin at home? Like this video and subscribe. You never know what you're holding in your change jar or inherited coin stash. That little copper penny could change your life. We're diving into the shocking true story of a 1982 D Lincoln penny that sold for a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. That's right, a single 1-cent coin that made someone a millionaire. And if you're between the ages of 30 and 70 and thinking about selling your old coins, stick with me. I'll show you how to tell if your 1982 penny is worth a fortune and what to do if you find one. First, let's rewind to 1982. Ronald Reagan was president. Gas was 91 cents a gallon. And the US Mint was making a big change, literally. In 1982, the Mint switched from using 95% copper pennies to pennies made mostly of zinc with just a copper coating. Why? Copper prices were rising, and making pennies out of nearly pure copper was too expensive. But here's where it gets interesting. During this transition, the Mint made 7 different varieties of 1982 pennies. Different weights, metals, and even 2 different fonts on the date, small date and large date. Now here's the million-dollar detail. One of these varieties was never supposed to exist. A 1982 D penny with a small date and copper composition. According to Mint records, Denver only struck the zinc version of the small date penny. But somehow, at least one copper version escaped into circulation. In 2016, a collector submitted one of these mystery coins to a professional grading service. It turned out to be 95% copper, and it was authenticated as a legitimate Mint product. A few years later, it sold for an estimated $1.7 million in a private sale. Simple. It's the only one ever confirmed. That makes it a unicorn in the coin world. Now, here's what you've been waiting for. How can you tell if your 1982 D penny might be worth a fortune? Check the Mint mark. Look just below the date. You need a D Mint mark, meaning it was minted in Denver. Look at the date style. You want a small date. The 2 in 1982 is the easiest giveaway. On a small date, it's level with the 1 and has a more delicate curve. Test the metal. Grab a digital scale. A copper penny weighs 3.11 grams, while a zinc one weighs only 2.5 grams. If you have a 1982 D/small date/3.11 G copper penny, congratulations, you might be holding one of the most valuable modern coins in US history. Here's what to do next. Don't clean it. Never clean rare coins, it ruins value. Get it weighed and compared by a jeweler or coin dealer. Submit it for grading. Use a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. Consult an expert. If it's legit, you'll want professional help selling it for top dollar. Even if it's not the $1,000,000 version, other 1982 penny varieties, especially in high grade, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Before you cash in those old coins or give that penny jar to the bank, take a second look. That tiny copper coin might be your retirement fund in disguise. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more rare coin finds, and drop a comment if you think you have a valuable penny. I'd love to hear your story. We're diving into one of the most shocking and valuable coins in U.S. history, the 1970 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny with a rare error, and why it's making headlines for its jaw-dropping price tag. First, let's set the stage. The Lincoln cent was introduced in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. It replaced the Indian head penny and quickly became one of the most collected coins in American history. Over the years, millions, actually billions, of Lincoln cents were minted. But not all pennies are created equal. In 1970, the Denver Mint produced almost 2.5 billion Lincoln cents. So how can one of them be worth more than a Lamborghini, a house, or even your retirement fund? The answer lies in a minting error, a rare mistake that occurred during production. One particular 1970 D penny was mistakenly struck on a 1909 S Lincoln wheat cent. This means the coin had two different dates layered on top of each other, and both had valuable features. The original 1909 S, which is rare on its own, and the 1970 D imprint layered above. That one-of-a-kind error makes this penny a collector's dream, and explains why it was valued at over $1.5 million by private collectors. Now I know what you're thinking. How do I know if my 1970 penny is worth that much? Great question. Just below the date, look for signs of layering or doubled numbers. Coin may look thicker, thinner, or off-color if it has the wheat stalks instead of the Lincoln Memorial. You've struck gold. Most of these errors are invisible to the naked eye. Use a coin loop or magnifying glass to inspect carefully. In 2013, one such 1970 D error penny sold for over $1.7 million at a private auction. The buyer? An anonymous coin collector who knew exactly what to look for. This isn't just about luck. It's about knowledge, patience, and a little bit of digging through your change jar. If you think you've found a valuable coin, don't clean it. That can ruin its value. Use services like PCGS or NGC grade equals higher value coin dealers, auction houses, online platforms. Wait for the right buyer, even if your 1970 D penny isn't the $1,000,000 one. Other errors and rare varieties can still bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a potential gold mine. And with coins like the 1970 D Lincoln cent, that dream might be sitting right in your attic. If you found this helpful, like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who might have old coins sitting in a box. Did you know that a simple Lincoln penny from 1969 could be worth over $1,000,000? That's right. People are claiming a 1969 D penny could fetch as much as $1.4 million. But is it true? Or is it just another internet myth? Today, I'm breaking down the real story behind the 1969 D Lincoln cent. What makes it valuable, what makes it common, and how you can tell the difference if you've got one sitting in a jar right now. The 1969 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver. That's what the D stands for. That year, over 4 billion pennies were struck at the Denver Mint, making the 1969 D one of the most common coins in circulation. But, and it's a big but, not all 1969 pennies are created equal. There's a very special version of the 1969 penny. The 1969 is double die obverse, minted in San Francisco, not Denver, and it's that coin without AD mint mark that is sold for over $1.4 million. Here's where people get confused. That legendary $1,000,000 penny? It's not the 1969 D, it's the 1969 S, with a double die error on the obverse or front side of the coin. The 1969 D penny is not known to have any legitimate double die varieties that are extremely valuable. In average condition, it's worth 1 cent. In uncirculated condition, maybe $2 to $5 at best. So if you've heard people say their 1969 D penny is worth over $1 million, it's probably a misunderstanding or clickbait. Don't be discouraged. You might still have a treasure in your pocket change or old coin collection. Here are some Lincoln pennies that are worth serious money. Up to $12,000 worth $1,000 to $25, 000 up to $300 up to $1, 000 worth over $20,000 mint errors and rarity. Coins with printing mistakes or low mintages are the ones that can sell for big bucks. If you're over 30, chances are you've got old coins lying around in drawers, jars, or inherited collections. Don't ignore them. Look for doubling on the letters. San Francisco coins are often more valuable. Websites like PCGS, NGC, or eBay sold listings. Visit a coin dealer or submit to grading services. If you think you've got a valuable penny, don't clean it, that ruins its value. Store it safely and get it authenticated. You can visit a local coin shop or coin show, send it to PCGS or NGC for grading, check eBay for what similar coins sold for. One person's spare change might be another person's windfall. So, is the 1969 D penny worth $1.4 million? No, but the 1969 S double die just might be. So check your coins, dig through your jars, and who knows? Maybe you've got a rare one just waiting to change your life. Hey there, treasure hunters and coin collectors. If you've got an old jar of pennies lying around, today's video might just change your life. Literally. We're diving into the story of the 1982 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. A tiny coin that could be worth up to $1.6 million. Whether you're 30 or 70, if you've ever thought about selling old coins, this is one you don't want to miss. So, let's set the scene. In 1982, the U.S. Mint made a major change. Due to rising copper prices, they stopped making pennies from 95% copper and started using zinc-coated coins with just a thin layer of copper. That year, 7 different types of pennies were made. Large date copper, small date copper, large date zinc, small date zinc, and versions from the Philadelphia and Denver mints, some with mint marks, some without. The 1982 D small date copper penny, but there's a twist. This version wasn't supposed to exist. All 1982 D small date pennies were supposed to be made from zinc. But 1 or 2 copper versions accidentally slipped through. That's what makes them so incredibly valuable. It's not just old, it's a mint error. That means it's rare, unique, and highly sought after by collectors. In fact, one of these rare pennies sold for over $18,000, and another was valued at $1.6 million by private collectors. Now, imagine finding one of those in your coin jar. All right, let's talk about how you can check if you've got one of these valuable 1982 pennies. Check the date. Look for a 1982 penny with no mint mark, or a small D for Denver. Look at the size of the date. Compare the number 2 in 1982. If it's curved and small, that's a small date. Weigh the coin. Use a digital scale that measures in grams. If your 1982 D small date penny weighs around 3.1 grams, it's copper. If it's around 2.5 grams, it's zinc. Confirm with a magnet. Copper and zinc pennies aren't magnetic, but it helps you rule out fakes made with steel or other metals. Get it verified if you think you've got a match. Don't clean it or try to sell it yourself. Send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to authenticate it. Here's how to sell it the right way. Get it graded. A certified grade proves the authenticity and condition, crucial for big sales. Use reputable dealers or auction houses. Companies like Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, and Great Collections specialize in high-value coins. Avoid selling on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. You might get scammed. Always work with professional coin dealers. Join coin forums or Facebook groups. Places like CoinTalk or PCGS forums are full of knowledgeable people who can guide you. Don't stop at just the 1982 penny. Here are a few more to keep an eye out for. Worth up to $1 million, worth $1,000 to $125,000, $300 to $5,000, up to $25, 000 if you've got old coins. They could be worth more than you think. Go dig through that coffee can, drawer, Or piggy bank and check for that 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. It could be your ticket to financial freedom. Backhand index pointing right. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who collects coins or just loves hidden treasures. Drop a comment below if you found any rare coins. We'd love to hear your story. Hey everyone, welcome back to Ma Dollar Coins, where we uncover the hidden value in your old coins and collectibles. Today, we're diving into a jaw-dropping story, a 1968 Lincoln penny that could be worth over $1.7 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny could change your life. If you have a jar of old pennies lying around, don't touch it until you've watched this video. One tiny coin from 1968 with a little D mint mark could be worth more than a luxury house. But why? What makes this penny so special? And how can you tell if you have one? Let's start with the basics. The 1968 D Lincoln cent was minted in Denver, which is what the D mint mark below the date stands for. That year, over 2.8 billion pennies were made in Denver alone, so it doesn't seem rare, right? But here's the twist. Out of billions, there are a few that were struck in error or have unique characteristics that make them extremely valuable to collectors. Now here's where it gets exciting. One of these coins, a 1968 D penny, was mistakenly struck on a rare planchet or had an extreme doubling error that made it a one-of-a-kind treasure. These are what collectors call numismatic unicorns. In pristine condition, what experts call MS 67 plus red. This penny can command a value up to $1.7 million in auction. Most 1968 D pennies are only worth a cent. But in rare cases, with special errors or ultra-high grades, the value skyrockets. Okay, so how do you know if you have $1 million penny? Here are the 3 key things to check. Mint mark and date. Look under the date for the D mint mark. That means it was minted in Denver. You're on the right track. Doubling errors shows close-up image. Use a magnifying glass and look closely at the date, Liberty, and In God We Trust. If the letters look doubled or shadowed, it could be a double die, one of the most valuable errors. Coin color and condition. Is your penny shiny and bright red like new? Collectors call this red MS, mint state, and it matters. A coin graded MS 65 to MS 67 red can bring in thousands, even millions, if combined with a rare error. And don't clean your coin. That actually lowers the value. One collector reportedly found a 1968 D double die penny in their late father's coin collection. It was authenticated, graded, and eventually sold at auction for over $1.7 million. That's not a rumor. These coins do change hands for massive money when certified. Imagine finding that in a shoebox or coffee can in the attic. That's why it's worth looking. If you think you've got a valuable 1968 D penny, here's what you should do. Don't clean it. Collectors want it in its original condition. No polishing or scrubbing. Take clear photos. Use your phone or camera to take close-up pictures of both sides. Get it graded. Send it to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll give it an official grade and verify any errors. Contact a coin dealer or auction house. Reach out to coin dealers or auction sites like Heritage Auctions. If it's authentic and rare, you could walk away with life-changing money. So next time you're going through your spare change or cleaning out an old drawer, keep an eye out for that 1968 D penny. It might look ordinary, but it could be a treasure hiding in plain sight. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a video that could make you a millionaire. Drop a comment if you found any interesting coins. I'd love to hear your story, and maybe even feature you in the next video. We're going to break down exactly which 1960 D pennies are worth real money, what you need to look for, and how you can sell your coins for top dollar. If you're aged between 30 and 70 and have a jar of old pennies tucked away, you do not want to miss this. The 1960 D Lincoln cent was minted at the Denver Mint. Over 1.5 billion of these pennies were made, so they're everywhere. But not all 1960 D pennies are the same. What makes some of them extremely valuable and even worth up to $1.4 million are rare varieties and minting errors that happen during production. The key is knowing what to look for, because just one rare penny could completely change your life. So, what makes the $1.4 million penny so special? It's all about the small date over large date variety, one of the most famous errors in modern coin collecting in early 1960. The US Mint used two different date styles, a large date and a rarer small date. Some 1960 pennies were struck using mismatched dies, meaning a small date obverse, front, was accidentally used with a large date reverse, back. This created an ultra-rare transitional error, and there are only a few of these known to exist in near-perfect condition, which is why collectors are willing to pay 6 to 7 figures for one. Here's how you can identify if you have the valuable version of the 1960 penny. Check the date style. Look closely at the 1960. If the 6 is narrow and higher than the rest of the numbers, it's likely a small date. Look for the D mint mark. The D should be right beneath the date, meaning it was minted in Denver. Step 3. Use a magnifier to spot fine details and possible double dies. You'll need a 10x magnifier or jeweler's loupe. Step 4. Search for doubling or misprints. Some coins have doubling on the date or lettering, or even rotated dies. These are worth significantly more. A standard 1960 penny is worth only a few cents, but one with the small date, high grade, and an error like RPM repunched mint mark can be worth $1,000 to $10,000 or more. And one found in pristine, gem-quality condition, like M67 Red, could fetch hundreds of thousands. Point 1 was rumored to have changed hands for over $1.4 million in a private sale. So, what if you think you have a valuable 1960 penny? Here's what you need to do. Don't clean the coin. Never clean old coins. It destroys the value instantly. Get it graded. Send your coin to a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm the authenticity, grade its condition, and that's what determines the real market value. Sell through reputable channels. Once graded, sell your coin through a coin auction house like Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, or Stax Bowers. You can also list with certified dealers or on eBay. Just make sure to show the graded slab. Know the market. Coin values change, so watch current auctions and get appraisals from multiple experts before selling. If you're between 30 and 70 years old, chances are you've come across some old coins from parents or grandparents, and one of those might just be this rare 1960 penny hiding in plain sight. Look for the small date, Denver mint mark, and any signs of doubling or repunched mint marks. Point 1 simple penny could turn into a retirement fund or your dream vacation. Did you know a penny from 1985, yes, a simple 1-cent coin, could be worth as much as $1.30 million? If you have a jar full of old coins, or maybe inherited a collection, now's the time to take a closer look. Today, we're diving into the 1985 no mint mark Lincoln cent and why some rare versions of this penny have shocked collectors with their skyrocketing value. If you're between 30 and 70 and wondering if your coins are worth money, this video is for you. Let's start with the basics. In 1985, the US Mint produced billions of Lincoln cents. Most of these coins were minted in Philadelphia, and Philadelphia coins typically don't carry a mint mark. So seeing a 1985 penny with no mint mark is completely normal. But here's the twist. Some of these 1985 pennies are anything but ordinary. Rare error coins or extremely high-grade examples can fetch thousands, or even over $1 million at auction. There are 3 key factors that make a 1985 no mint mark penny incredibly valuable. 1. Minting errors. Rare varieties include things like double die obverse, where Lincoln's face or lettering appears doubled, off-center strikes, and even die breaks. These errors make a coin unique. Collectors love that. 2. Condition and grading. If your 1985 penny is in mint state, MS67 or higher, flawless, shiny, no scratches, it could be extremely rare. Only a handful of coins from that year are known in perfect condition. Point 3. Auction history. 1 ultra-rare 1985 Lincoln cent graded MS68 red sold for over $1.3 million due to its condition and rarity. These sales are rare but very real. Here's how you can check your 1985 penny at home. First, look right under the date. If there's no mint mark, it could be Philadelphia. That's what we're focusing on. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to look for doubling on the date or Liberty Sharp. Clean surfaces. Any unusual marks or off-center designs, handle it carefully. Don't clean it. Cleaning can ruin its value. Then, Check coin grading websites like PCGS or NGC to compare your coin's condition. There are real stories of people finding valuable pennies in change or forgotten boxes. One man in California discovered a near-perfect 1985 penny in an old collection and had it graded MS-68 red. At auction, it drew massive bids, eventually selling for over $1 million. You never know what's hiding in that coffee can or sock drawer. Don't clean the coin. Take clear, close-up photos. Contact a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. You can also visit local coin dealers or attend a coin show near you. Consider having the coin slabbed and graded. This adds credibility and increases resale value. If your coin checks all the boxes, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Want to sell your coins for the best possible price? Do your homework? Look up past auction sales. Use trusted platforms like Heritage Auctions, eBay with authentication, or a local coin dealer. Always get multiple offers. Don't settle for the first one. Coins in original condition, properly graded, can fetch 10x more than unverified ones. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because we've got more videos coming up on rare coins you might already own. Remember, one penny could change your life. Hey coin lovers, have you ever looked at that old penny in your change jar and thought, could this be worth a fortune? Well, hold on to your seats because today, we're diving into the mysterious world of the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln cent, and one rare version that's rumored to be worth $1.4 million. If you're between 30 and 70 and have a collection of old coins sitting in a drawer, you'll want to watch this video all the way to the end. Let's start with the basics. In 1978, the U.S. Mint produced over 5 billion Lincoln pennies. These were mostly made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, the same classic composition we saw before the switch to zinc-based pennies in 1982. You'll find 1978 pennies with no mint mark. Those were made in Philadelphia. Then there are 1978 D pennies, made in Denver, which have a D under the date. Now, you're probably thinking, wait, isn't no mint mark common? Yes. But here's where it gets interesting. Among the billions of pennies struck in 1978, collectors have identified a handful of extremely rare errors and unique conditions, and these are what skyrocket values. One such penny reportedly sold for over $1.4 million due to a perfect storm of rarity. A double die obverse, pristine mint state condition, graded MS-70, and extremely low population. That's right, it wasn't just any 1978 penny with no mint mark. It was a coin in absolutely flawless condition, plus a dramatic doubling error visible to the naked eye. Add to that a little mystery and collector hype, and boom, that's how a humble 1-cent coin can fetch millions. So, how do you know if your 1978 penny is valuable? Here's what to check. If it has no mint mark below the date, it's from Philly. That's what we're looking for. Check for doubling on the "In God We Trust," the word Liberty, and the date itself. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. If it looks brand new, no scratches, and still has that original red color, it could be MS-65 or better. That's big money. Keep an eye out for off-center strikes, wrong planchet errors, and lamination issues. If your penny checks 2 or more of these boxes, it's time to have it graded. Here's what to do next. Get it graded. Contact professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate and grade your coin officially. Research past sales. Use sites like Heritage Auctions, eBay sold listings, and great collections to compare similar coins. Find the right buyer. Avoid pawn shops. Instead, list your coin on auction sites or contact reputable coin dealers. A penny worth over $1 million needs to be handled carefully. Think of it like selling a rare painting. So, is every 1978 no-mint mark penny worth $1.4 million? Of course not. Most are still worth face value or maybe a few bucks in circulated condition. But a rare double die in perfect mint state with the right errors? That could make you a millionaire. If you've got a jar of old pennies, start looking. You never know what hidden treasure you might be sitting on. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more coin tips money bag, And comment below if you think you might have a rare coin. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've been holding on to old coins in your collection or even just found a penny from the 1980s, you'll definitely want to stick around today. Why? Because one small coin from 1985, the Lincoln 1-cent penny with a D mint mark, could be worth an eye-popping $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1.5 million. Now, before you start hunting through your coin jars, let me explain exactly what makes this penny so special, how to identify it, and what to look out for to avoid scams. And if you do have one, I'll also tell you the best ways to get the most money for your rare find. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since 1909, and the 1985 edition was produced in large quantities. But there's one rare variety of this coin, struck at the Denver Mint, the 1985 D penny, that stands out because of a mysterious error that turned it into a collector's holy grail. In 1985, the Denver Mint produced billions of pennies, but only a handful are known to have a rare die error. This error makes the coin one of the rarest and most valuable pennies in existence, with some examples reportedly selling for as much as $1.5 million. So what exactly is this error? Well, it's a subtle but important detail. The rare 1985 D penny features what collectors call a double die or a significant die clash error, which means the coin's design appears doubled or slightly off in certain areas, especially on Lincoln's profile, the date, or the mint mark. Look closely at the date, 1985, and the D mint mark on the coin. On the error penny, you'll see the numbers and letters slightly doubled or shadowed. This doubling wasn't supposed to happen during the minting process. It's extremely rare because only a handful of these error coins made it into circulation. Why is it worth so much? Now, you might be wondering, why is this one penny worth up to $1.5 million? It's all about rarity and demand. Coins with die errors are highly prized by collectors because they're a natural accident, unique and unrepeatable. When a coin is this rare, and in good condition, collectors are willing to pay top dollar. One notable auction in the last few years saw a pristine 1985 D double die Lincoln penny sell for nearly $1.5 million, making it one of the most valuable pennies ever sold. How to check if your 1985 D penny is valuable. So, how do you check if your penny is one of these rare ones? Here's a quick checklist. Make sure your penny is from 1985 and has a D mint mark below the date, meaning it was minted in Denver. Inspect the date and mint mark closely for any signs of doubling or shadowing. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe for the best view. Look for doubling on Lincoln's profile, especially the lines of his face, beard, and the edges of the coin's design. Condition matters. A coin that's clean and uncirculated is worth much more. If you think you have the coin, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC to verify its authenticity and condition. Tips for selling your valuable coin: found your rare 1985 D penny and confirmed it's the error coin? Great. Now how do you sell it? Here are my top tips. Don't just sell it to a random buyer or a local pawn shop. They often undervalue rare coins. Get it professionally graded first. A certified coin will sell for a much higher price. Consider selling through a reputable auction house or a well-known numismatic dealer. Be cautious of scams. Always verify the buyer's credentials. If you want maximum exposure, sell through online auction platforms specializing in rare coins. To wrap it up, if you've got a 1985 D penny sitting in a drawer, it's definitely worth checking carefully. This tiny coin could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Remember, even the smallest discoveries can lead to life-changing payouts. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button, share it with friends who love coin collecting, and subscribe for more insider tips on selling rare coins for top dollar. And if you want me to take a look at any coins you're curious about, drop a comment below or reach out on social media.